We love all of them, but I have known this family for 22 years. So before I break out into song and dance, please welcome my family, the Dashel family.
Thank you guys so much for having us here tonight. For those of you who don't know, I'm Pam Todd. This is my husband, Brian. Of course, this is our son, Orson. Our other son, Sumner, who's part of Dance Marathon, is just finishing up a class. And this is our youngest son, Dashel. So this is a really special day for Dance Marathon, and we were really fortunate to be asked to be here with you. We've been really entrenched with the Dance Marathon program for 12 years, ever since Dashel's diagnosis, and we feel really, really fortunate to share this. 4 years ago, actually, for DM26, we were at their Day to DM kickoff, and we did this exact same thing. And that year, we concocted a plan with their executive director to do a special surprise. We're going to do it again tonight. But I'll let you know when that comes along. First, I'm going to tell you about Dashel. And I'm going to keep it really short because I also want to tell you a little bit about how Dance Marathon has been incredibly integral in our lives and in our children's lives. So Dashel was diagnosed in March of 2012 with a very rare liver cancer called hepatoblastoma. He went through multiple chemotherapies, surgeries, even a liver transplant. About 9 months in, it had metastasized to his lungs, and the pathology showed that he actually had something else called transitional liver cell tumor, and that it was terminal. And what that cancer did was it masked itself as a curable kind. And the World Health Organization has found that many, many cancers are doing this because it knows we're trying to kill it. Well, we made the decision that it was really important for scientific research to donate Dashel's tumors. So when he passed away in June of 2013, the team here and the team in Cincinnati Children's Hospital worked diligently to flash freeze his tumors and get them to Cincinnati. And when they got there, they were able to keep the cell line alive and replicate it. They have their own in-house chemists, and they were able to use his samples for different chemo concoctions. In the spring of 2018, we got a phone call from their team. And what they told us was that using Dashel's donated specimen, along with 3 or 4 others that they had, they were able to identify the genetic marker that triggers his kind of cancer. Now, since they were able to do that, they've reclassified his type of cancer, and now it is known as hepatocellular malignant tumor not otherwise specified. And the reason why the not otherwise specified was tagged onto that is, again, because it masks itself as the curable form. Brian and I have had the opportunity to be part of an international advisory committee with those people and to go to conferences and talk about the advancements that they're able to make. So when we talk about legacy, I can't think of a better legacy for a 5-year-old to have, making that kind of an impact. So we feel very special that he was able to bring that into the world, even if it took him. Now, our Dance Marathon story actually began before Dashel's diagnosis. We live here in Iowa City, very close to campus, and we had 2 young ladies canning in our neighborhood in January of 2012. Brian answered the door, and he donated after they told him what the organization did. And it was only weeks later that we ended up on the recipient end of things. When we found ourselves inpatient, Dashel and I and the other boys, we were a little shy. So it was Brian who would jump up with the Dance Marathoners who would come in and say, hey, let's go for a walk around clinic. And he really had that first introduction to get to know them and sort of bring that back to us. The other boys, when we were inpatient, would do activities, but then we were given a morale group for DM19, and our captain would reach out to us and she would engage with Orson and Summer Sumner, when Dashel was going through treatments, they would do special projects, they would go out to dinner, go for ice cream, come down here and do work, and it was really, really integral to what we needed as far as support went during that time. After Dashel's passing, we made a conscientious decision to continue our relationship with Dance Marathon because we understood that Orson and Sumner, coming into their teen years, the dancers were closer to their age, they were their peers. Many of them had gone through it with siblings or had been cancer patients themselves and could bring coping skills to them, teach them leadership skills, and in many, many cases build solid friendships. And that has been a really fantastic thing to look back on over 12 years. The tenets that we really value in this organization are the commitment to the kiddos. No matter what stage they're at, whether they're active treatment, whether they're survivors, or whether they're DIH, across the board, they get the same and equal amount of support, and that is really, really important. The other thing that we have found very, very important, that we hope that you're finding with this organization, is that there is a considerate amount of grace and empathy and kindness and support. And it didn't matter who it was, if it was a kiddo or family or sibling, but we saw it across the board with the dancers and leadership, the U of I administration, the hospital staff. There was a community of fellowship that brought us together out of this hardship. In Orson and Sumner's case, when you come into the organization, you share blood. Some of you share purpose. Some of you share experience. But I hope the one thing that you really, really share is a generous heart. Because that's something that you're going to take from here into the other parts of your life. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the people that we've come across. And they've really, truly become genuinely close friends. Last week, a very wonderful woman that we've come to know, she was on exec for GM20, and now she's a child life specialist at Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. Her name is Becca Mitzos, and she zoomed in and graciously took time out of her day to share her experience with Dance Marathon and how she has carried the mission and the morals and the ethics into the rest of her life. And the one thing I will say about Becca is she really has been the daughter that Brian and I never had, and absolutely the sister that Orson and Sumner and Dashel deserve. She is an incredible human being, and I hope that in your journey here, since she's only in Chicago, she'll come in person and you get a chance to meet her. But there are many, many other people who we have become very close with. Over the years, we've gone to baby showers, graduations, engagement parties, weddings. I officiated Becca's wedding. Sometimes they just come over for dinner, just to chat. We'll sit in the backyard and put a bonfire on and just catch up. Now, I want you to see what 12 years of that looks like. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a video. Now, while that video is playing, we're going to do a fundraising challenge. This is what we did with DM26. Dashel was 5 when he passed away. In a few weeks, he would have turned 16. What we're asking you to do right now, while our video plays, is we want you to reach out to 5 people, however you want to do that, text, email, social media, and just ask them if they would be willing to donate $16 to your account tonight. Now, when you've done that, you don't have to have the money in your account. What we want you to do is turn on the flashlight on your phone. Because what we want to do is we want to illuminate the room. So we're going to step down, and we're going to let that video run, and we're going to have you reach out to these people. And then we'll come back up. we had to do something that we did not think we were going to have to do with a dancer. We had to say goodbye. There was a young lady who had been in Dance Marathon for a couple of years, and right before the big event for DM24, she found out that she had cancer, and she fought really hard for 2 years. And during those 2 years, she also fought for the kiddos. She continued to raise money. And we had not seen her for a while. And we spoke, and my husband and I stepped down. And she came over to us, and she said, "I'm so glad that you're here tonight. I wanted to show you something." And she took us over to her chair, and she had folded up a blanket that we had donated to her in Dashiell's memory. Because a very special friend of ours who was an oncology nurse named Gretchen Rice Terry had told us that when patients go through chemo, they have a tendency to be particularly cold. So we wanted to make sure when we found out that this young lady had cancer, that she had something special to wrap up in. Well, she told us that she took it with her everywhere. A couple of weeks later, she passed away. That's legacy. That's legacy. Your actions and your words, while you're here, they define your character. You chose to be here, and we're so grateful that you are. When you're gone and you move forward in your life, we're the ones who will have your story. We're the ones who will have pictures of you and videos and have stories about how you were gracious and kind to all the kiddos and to the families. I want you to embrace this selflessness. Don't get caught up in the minutia. Those things that are the petty distractions from the important lessons that you should be taking away from this opportunity. I want to say thank you for answering the call to be in this organization, to support these families and kiddos. That includes the siblings who are part of this as well. You are ingrained in their lives as well. Because as we've told Orson and Sumner, no matter what stage of life they're in, or where they are in Dance Marathon, they are first and foremost a U of I Dance Marathon family because of this little boy right here. Thank you for your dedication. It serves me and my family and all the kiddos. But always remember the value of life and friendship. Be good to each other, be kind, be supportive, and be empathetic. The energy that brings people into Dance Marathon truly is something very magical. We have seen it, we have lived it for 12 years, and we feel so lucky in the depths of our greatest pain. All those people out there mean something to us. You mean something to us. When you truly embrace the mission, it will serve you, not just now, but for who you are in the rest of your life. It will serve you for the people that you love now. It will also serve you for the people who are coming down the pike. Because if you're lucky, there are, whether it's a partner or a child or a coworker, there's somebody coming who's going to look at you and say, "You mean something to me. Who were you before I knew you?" Make sure that you walk away from this organization with the tenets of that mission that will carry on into the rest of your life. We wish you the best of luck over the next 24 hours. We know that it's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Dance Marathon. And he said, he wasn't meaning anything bad by this, but he goes, "Oh, you and your family are still doing that?" And in my mind, I'm like, of course I'm still doing that. And then afterwards, I was like, yeah, that was a weird comment to make. And I'm sorry, exec, and if the advisors are here, but, Dance Marathon has to keep it really clean, so we're allowed one F-bomb a year, and I'm about to take that. So, the reason my family and I are still so involved with this organization 12 years later is because we truly fucking care about Dance Marathon and all these families we support.